Safe and alone, that's what Emily told herself as she stared into nothingness from her small house on a cul-de-sac street. Outside should be other houses, kids playing, dogs barking, but outside is silence. Outside there's nothing. She's never felt so alone as right now. The windows pitch black just as they've been since she could remember. It's always dark, never dawning. She wonders if this is what death will be like. She looks through the window into nothingness. She tries to imagine a world with no sight, no sounds. Her imagination conjures images of monsters, but then the thoughts go away as quickly as they came. Monsters aren't real, but the dark is. She's trapped here, forever inside her little home, and it won't end until she dies. This is my life, she thought. I'm going to spend my whole life waiting for nothing. She felt the tears building up behind her eyes, and she felt them spill out. She tried to blink them back, to fight them, but they wouldn't stop. Tears ran down her cheeks, but she didn't try to wipe them away. I hate this, she cried. Her mother used to tell her that everything happens for a reason, that she was lucky just to be alive. That was a lie. Life is torture. That's all. This isn't luck. Life is pain. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. There's always pain, and that's the way it is. Why can't I wake up? That question echoed in her head again. If only she could wake up from this nightmare. If only she could feel the warmth of sunlight on her face, hear the birds singing. If she could be part of a world. But it's all just a dream, and Emily knew that better than anyone. No matter how she wished, no matter what she hoped, she would always stay here in this house, never waking up from the nightmare. She felt the tears coming up again. It was pointless. Nothing was ever going to change. She was going to be stuck like this forever. A small part of her wanted to get up, walk out her door, step into the darkness, and never come back. If she did that, then there'd be no more pain. There'd be no more suffering. It was tempting to give in. The darkness wasn't too far. Just a few steps and her pain would be over. Her phone rang. An unusual occurrence since there was nobody to talk to. Her heart sank as she saw her mother's name on the screen. Hello? She whispered. Emily, sweetie, are you okay? She could picture her mom at the other end of the line. Her mom's face was soft and warm against hers, and her voice was sweet when she talked to Emily. Emily loved her mom. That's why she answered. I'm fine, Mom. You sound sad, her mother said. The words hit Emily like a punch in the stomach. She knew the voice sounded genuine, but she wasn't really sad. She felt empty. It's just that she hated this life, and the only way to make it stop was to walk into the darkness. She didn't want to die, but she wouldn't mind if it came to that. Anything to be free of this nightmare. I'll be better soon. You'll feel much better if you come outside, her mom replied. Emily felt the tears streaming down her cheeks again. No, Mom, I can't go out there. Why not? Emily knew her answer. She just didn't want to say it. It would make things worse. It made it sound as though she was weak or something, which was wrong. It wasn't weakness. It was just that her mother would be upset. She'd feel guilty for wanting to leave her, and there was nothing that could change that. It's dangerous, she whispered. Are you scared? Her mother's voice changed. It became strong and commanding. She'd never heard her mother sound like this before. Emily was too shocked to say anything. Are you scared, little girl? Her mom continued. If you don't open the door, I'll break it down. Are you afraid of me? Emily couldn't speak. She could barely breathe. This wasn't her mom. Her real mom loved her. What's going on? Who are you? She yelled. Her mother laughed. Don't be silly. I'm your mother, your real mother. Emily hung up. Her whole body was shaking with anger and fear. She wanted to smash something or run her until her legs gave out. But instead she went to the window, pulled the curtain back, and looked out. Nothing. Outside was still dark, blacker than the inside of her house. All I have to do is walk outside and it will all stop, she thought. She stood there at the window for an hour. It never got lighter, it only got darker. She was trapped in the blackness and the pain would always be with her, so she decided to give in to the darkness, just like her mother had said. Maybe a death would be better, she whispered. She went to the front door, opened it, and stepped out into nothing. The door closed behind Emily, leaving the house empty and as dark as outside.